Hello, this is Kaki Lee, and welcome to the Abundant Goddess Show, where I'll be sharing daily, bite sized pearls of wisdom I've picked up along my life journey that has allowed me to embrace and unleash my inner abundant goddess. And that's exactly what I want for you, to embrace and unleash your inner abundant goddess. I love talking about anything and everything to do with life, but I especially love talking about money, mindset, and energy, which is the main focus here. If you like what you hear, make sure you subscribe to my show so you don't miss out on your daily dose of wisdom from myself. And also follow me and let me know what you think on Facebook and Instagram at Abundance with Kaki Lee. Now let's get into it. Welcome to the Abundant Goddess Show. Today's pearl of wisdom is fill your own cup first. As a society, especially as a woman, as a mother, we've been taught, programmed, conditioned, without us even knowing sometimes, to put everyone else's needs and expectations before ours. Whether it's our children's, our husbands or partners, our parents, our siblings, our work colleagues, our bosses, our friends, it doesn't matter. We've been taught that in order to be a nice person, to be a good citizen, we need to put other people's needs and expectations first. And that is bullshit. Because I've learned the hard way what toll it takes on our own bodies and our own mind, our own emotion, our spirit when we do that. So I'm here to tell you that putting yourself first is necessary. Filling your own cup first is not selfish, it's necessary. Let me repeat that again. Filling your own cup first is not selfish, it's necessary. Because when you are offering your help, your support to others from a full cup that is overflowing, it comes from a place of love. It comes from a place of, I feel so good, I can now help others. Whereas when you come from a place of an empty cup, a cup that is depleted, you are giving from this need, this energy of, I need to do this to be likable, to be loved, to make sure that other people like me and think I'm good enough. And then there is this resentment that comes up because you have not met your own needs or expectations. And for me, when I realized that, I had already had the meltdown and the breakdown and the depression. I was luckily, or I don't know whether it's luckily or what, but I was high functioning depressive. No one even knew I was depressed, apart from my husband, because I was crying every night. But I went about my day, did everything like I did, achieved all my goals, did all those things, but I was feeling empty and exhausted inside. And I was just not in a good place emotionally or mentally. And that's what it can do when you don't feel your own cup, because you're filling everyone else's cups. I was too afraid to speak up because I was worried about what other people think. And so I just did what other people needed and expected rather than going, no, this is not the way, and filling my own cup. I didn't even know what fun was. I didn't even know what I like to do for fun. Right? Isn't that crazy? Yes, I have fun with my friends, but if you were to ask me what really makes me really happy to do, I couldn't tell you. Nowadays, I can, but I'm still discovering what those things are. I'm still looking, but at least now I would take the steps to go and look and explore for myself. For me, even drinking a nice cup of tea, having some time to myself, that fills my cup. And my husband and I have this arrangement now since my meltdown about 5, 6 years ago, that if it gets too much, that I can go take a couple of days and stay somewhere by myself to recenter and realign. And I still haven't taken him up on that offer. on this setup because I felt guilty. I feel guilty for leaving my husband and my kids for 2 days so that I can recenter. Isn't that nuts? But guess what? I'm taking that offer because in the last week, I realized how much my cup was being depleted. And, I don't care if people know this because I want you to know that we need to make this normal. We can't keep thinking that everyone needs to be superwoman, that everyone has their shit sorted. Because I can tell you, no one has their shit sorted. Even if they look like they have their shit sorted, they might have their shit more sorted than someone else, but is never completely sorted. That's just how it is. But last week, I realized that my cup was depleted. And I said to my husband, I just have to. I just have to now. And he's telling me to, right? And I love my husband because he is always so supportive. Always. Last week, on the Friday, I didn't post my podcast because I didn't do one. I was putting so much pressure on myself because I was thinking in my head that I need to meet these deadlines or put myself out there because otherwise I'm not meeting the needs of my audience. I mean, how ridiculous is that? How ridiculous is that story? No one is keeping tabs. I've mentioned this before. No one gives a shit about what you're doing. Well, they do, but they're not keeping tabs. Everyone's too busy focusing on themselves. So if I miss a day of my podcast, no one's going to die. No one. No one's going to die. And no one's going to go, oh, well, Kaki didn't post her podcast on Friday. What the hell is happening there? No one's going to do that. Yet we get in our heads thinking that people care enough to keep a tab of every single thing you do. And yes, there are people watching what you're doing, but they're not keeping tabs, right? Depending on what you put out there, they might be just inspired every time they see you post something. But they're not keeping tabs on how many days of the week that you're posting and how often you're posting because they've got their own lives to worry about. But these few weeks, I have not been sleeping. And I'm not telling you this to get sympathy or anything like that. I'm just telling you how important it is to fill your cup. I have had, I don't know, my child still has eczema, but it was flared up in the last few weeks. So there has been very minimal sleeping to the point where she might wake up a few hours in a night and then continuously wake up every 1 or 2 hours after that, like a newborn or worse, actually. And so I'm not getting any sleep. My husband works away. I'm on my own. And like I said, I'm not trying to get any sympathy. This is just my life. This is how it is. And I still get my shit done, do whatever I do, right? That's just how my life works. That's the setup, right? I'm not going to be given anything by the universe, by God, by whatever your beliefs are that I can't cope, I can't handle. I can handle all that, but it was the lack of sleep that was getting to me and the lack of help. And I was getting back into this pattern of feeling like I was being abandoned because my husband started working away again. Because that was one of the triggers that I had when I had my meltdown a few years, like 5-6 years ago. It was that abandonment and that resentment. And it was coming back. And I was like, okay, right. We need to recenter, right? We need to go, okay, what's happening here? I need to go and fill up my cup because I'm giving myself to everything but me. So today, I want you to remember that it is not selfish to fill your own cup first. It is necessary. If you are feeling burnt out, stressed, overwhelmed, frustrated, resentful, angry, all of those things, all of the above, and you're not feeling like you're in a place of joy and fun and love and peace and calm, then I ask you to fill your own cup, because chances are your cup is not filled. And sometimes filling that cup means that you might need to do some healing. There might be some healing to do, and that's filling your cup. Because when you heal, you feel better, right? You're releasing all the energy that doesn't serve you, releasing the trauma. Right? And that might be filling your cup because you've been holding on to it for so long, you don't know what to do with it. Other people fill their cup just by going to do exercise. That's something that fills the cup. They need to do exercise every single day, or they're not, or they feel off, and that's fine. It might be that you go out and have a good meal, really nice meal, because you love to go and eat. That's me. Right? And that fills my cup. And I'm more than comfortable to go into a restaurant by myself and eat by myself. Don't feel awkward. Super comfortable. Right? Whatever it is, I ask that you do something each day that fills up your cup. And if your cup is depleted, do more than one thing that fills up your cup. Because if your cup is not full, if your cup is depleted, you're no good to anyone. You might think that you are, but you're not. So I ask you, please take some time to fill up your cup, to give from a place of overflow, and look after yourself. And that's the end of the show. Please share this episode with anyone that needs a reminder to fill their own cup first. If you like what you heard, make sure you subscribe to my show, and remember to follow me over at Facebook or Instagram at Abundance with Kaki Lee to connect with me and let me know what you think of the episode. If you're interested in working with me or learning from me on how to create generational wealth, how to create multiple streams of income, or you want to be part of my multi-author book, The Awakened Feminine, Stories of Women Awakening to Who They Truly Are, then please send me a DM on Facebook or Instagram, or email me at hello@kakilee.com.